friends, it's Megan, and today I'm talking about some names from Anne's House of Dreams. I love this book. I love the title. I know you shouldn't judge a book by the title, but I definitely do. I can't help it. This is video 5 of 6 in my little name series based off of Anne of Green Gables, a series by Lucy Maud Montgomery that I adore. You might notice some characters missing out from this video that you know were in book 5. Hopefully I've already talked about them in one of my previous videos, or they'll make my last video, which is tomorrow. I just don't want to repeat characters' names over and over, although I'm sure I might on accident, sorry. But yeah, so tomorrow I will conclude my little Anne Shirley name series with book 6, Anne of Ingleside. So I hope that you've been watching and that you're subscribing to my channel and loving some names and all that good stuff. Let's talk about some names now. Yeah, that's enough intro. So the first name I have is Alice, for Alice Selwyn. Alice is a German name. It means noble. It's currently number 127 in the United States. It is a name on the rise, and I so see why. Recently, this year, I have started paying attention to the name Alice, and I really love it. Then I have Carter, for Carter Flagg. It is a name that has really jumped up in popularity. It feels very modern and current to me. It's an English occupational name that means someone who transports goods by cart, and in popularity it is number 36. Like I said, pretty popular. Next is Cornelia, for Cornelia Bryant. It is a Latin name. It's a feminization of the name Cornelius, which means horn. Okay, so different parts of the world, Cornelia is pronounced different ways. I'm saying it more like Cornelia, but it can also be pronounced Cornelia. I hope you can hear the difference in that. To me, this name feels very guilty pleasure worthy. It does feel a bit dated. I prefer Cordelia, which I talked about in video 1, book 1. But both Cordelia and Cornelia could be a little bit more current, I think, with maybe some cute little nicknames to them. Next is Frank, for Frank West. Frank means Frenchman or freeman. It's currently number 319. It was very popular in this country till the 1920s, where it slowly started sinking, and it's just gradually been sinking each decade ever since. Next is Jem. So Jem is James Matthew Blythe. I already talked about the name James, but I still wanted to talk about Jem just on its own. It's the nickname that James uses in this series. So Jem is a diminutive of the name James, and it can also be a nickname for the name Jeremiah. It means subplanter, and this name also reminds me of another character from another book, which is To Kill a Mockingbird. There's a gem in that. Next up is Joyce, who goes by the nickname Joy, and this is for Joyce Blythe. It's a Latin name, and it means merry and full of joy. Not too popular, all the way down at number 892. And Joyce feels very seasonal to me, like it feels like Christmas time. Then I have Kenneth, for Kenneth West. Kenneth is an English name. It means handsome. It also means born of the fire. It's currently number 175. I think this is a nice, like, solid name. It's a name I tend to overlook a lot. Kenny could be cute if you were a little boy, or an older man, I guess. It doesn't matter. But it sounds a little bit more youthful, I think, than Kenneth does. Then I have Leslie, for Leslie Moore. Leslie is a Scottish name. It means garden by the pool. It's currently number 263. It was 263 for girls in this country. It is a unisex name, but it's not in the top 1,000 for boys. It's gotten more popular with girls, but still not too popular at 263. Next is Marshall, for Marshall Elliott. Marshall is a French name. It means one who looks after horses. I love horses, so I like that meaning. It's currently number 348 in the US. Marshall's never been too incredibly popular here in the States. It is also a surname name. Then I have Owen, for Owen Ford. Owen is Welsh and Irish. It means youthful. It also means well-born. It's currently number 38. It is rising in popularity, and it can be spelled various ways in different countries. This is the anglicized version, but like I said, it is going up in popularity. Then I have Persis, for Persis Selwyn. Persis is a Greek name. It means Persian woman, and it was a name used a lot amongst the Puritans, but it has not been in the top 1,000 in the US. Next is Rose for Rose Elliott. Rose is a Latin name meaning a rose, like the beautiful flower. It's currently number 261 in popularity. It's an old name that I just can't resist. I really love it. And I think it's just classic and beautiful. People always ask me if I had to rename myself, what would I rename myself? It's really hard for me to imagine myself with another name, but the name that I think I could maybe fit is Rose because it's kind of old-fashioned. I like old-fashioned things. I think that sounds good. Next is Susan for Susan Baker. It's a Hebrew name meaning lily. It's currently number 839. In the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, Susan was pretty popular, but since the late 70s, it has really started to drop in popularity all the way down to 839, like I said. And one woman I was talking to not too long ago mentioned that her mother's name was Susan, and since Susan means lily, she thought of naming her daughter Lily in honor of her mother, and I thought that was so adorable. I love when people can find cool ways to honor people that aren't, so literal. So there are a few more cool names from this book, mostly lesser known characters that I won't talk about in as much detail, but I still wanted to mention some of these names, give some of you writers inspiration, and so on. So here we go. Alec, Amos, Angus, Augustus, Ebenezer, Horace, Leon, Louisa, Margaret, Neil, Roderick, and Rhoda. If you are interested in more of my love of Anne Shirley and names from this series, do check out my latest blog post. That's linked in the description box below. I will also have all of these names listed in case you want to reread them or you were reading them along with me. I know some people do that as well. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Do come back tomorrow where I will conclude my little Anne series, sadly, and talk about names from Anne of Ingleside. There's no house in that, sorry. So Anne of Ingleside is tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.